Hi, and welcome to Office Hours. My name is Kayla Solinsky. I am head of school at Macbeth Academy, www.macbethacademy.org. And in Office Hours, we talk about online education, empowering education, and access and empowering kids. Today, we have the wonderful Stacey Roberts. He is a SAG member. He's an actor. He is a literacy expert and advocate. And I'm really excited to talk to him about how we got into education, literacy, and how he created this wonderful character called Reggie Raposaurus. So thank you so much for being here. And I just kind of first want to introduce and talk to you about your story. How'd you get into this, into literacy?
Well, to begin with, I was an actor in LA for a little bit. And then when that didn't go as I had planned, I ended up tutoring in Los Angeles for a little bit with Laubach, which was awesome, adult tutoring. Came to San Diego and wanted to continue tutoring, but I found that I wasn't doing anything creative. So I put my creative juices together, and I'm a songwriter. So I decided to do both. And so I basically am a literacy advocate. We've written 17 wonderful songs that relate to reading, literacy, being honorable, compassionate, and kind. And kindness necessarily does not mean weakness. So we share that with kids and parents and families and engage them in these wonderful performances.
So why did you decide to create this character, Reggie Raposaurus?
Well, what happened was I was at a homeless center and I was reading the kids, and I had a puppet at the time, and I needed something to engage with them. I had kids there that were maybe 7 to about 18 years old. And so the rap idea kind of came out of that need to connect with those kids who had really no imagination. And I wanted to infuse the idea that imagination still exists in them. And so we did that. I read stories to them for a whole year. And at the end of the year, those kids that didn't have an imagination, at the end of the year, all wrote Reggie, not me. They wrote Reggie cards saying goodbye. They drew pictures of Reggie. And I've got to show you, this is a picture of a kid, not at the homeless center, but when I do live performances, I have a coloring page for kids. They get a coloring page. So they're doing a coloring page. And I ask the kids, you guys color Reggie any color you want. This is what Reggie looks like.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
And
amazing.
so I had the kids color Reggie. You can make him whatever color you like. And this is what they did. Check this out.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
And then this one here, this is my best one here. They put their name on it, and look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
That's incredible.
Yeah, so you let them be how they're going to be. It can speak to them in any way they want. They put cars on their ears, just all kinds of really cool things. And so I want them to go there, and it's helpful that the music that we do connects. And I'm have 2 consultants that work with me, education consultants. I'm not an educator. I'm a performer. And what I've done is I put my best tools together in my toolkit, and I've invited people who are much more well-versed than I am to help me in this mission.
Why do you think the kids responded so well? Because you started off saying that they didn't have, would talk to me more, they didn't have because all kids have imagination, but they didn't have imagination for that to writing letters to Reggie. So why did they connect so well with the music and Reggie and literacy? Like, talk to me about
That's an important question. I think what happened is, see, these kids, because they were so disenfranchised and so horribly, just misused and whatnot. When I came and I read stories to them, I chose books from the library, and those stories resonated with them about life outside of their space. And what happened was that happened. And then my puppet, I had a puppet at the time, they would talk to Reggie. They'd talk to the puppet and say, hey, Reggie, my mom just gave me some shoes. She's doing better now. We really miss her. Things like that. They talk to Reggie and they touch Reggie. And a really cute story. When I put Reggie away in the little suitcase I had, the little girl said, leave some room for Reggie so Reggie can breathe. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And it was at that point that I knew I had something very special. And all I had was one song. I read stories. They connected with Reggie, this imaginary dinosaur. So I call myself an imaginary dinosaur expert.
Makes sense. Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I love it. So It's just such a beautiful thing. So now we're talking about equity and access because you're in these spaces, these libraries, these community centers, and you're connecting with the children in that way. So I guess why did you decide to go that route instead of just kind of having a separate company? Why did you go to the community centers for these kids that are disenfranchised, like you said?
Well, for me, going to the library made a lot of sense. Going to San Diego Council on Literacy makes sense. They serve a lot of people that are in those areas that are in need.
Yeah.
And they were desperately looking for some creative ways. I'm a creative partner with different entities, so that works well for them. They have their criteria and things that they do and their modalities. And I come in and they say, can you put together blah, blah, blah for us for our summer reading program, a visual thing, because the kids are shut in during COVID. We
Yeah.
produced this wonderful video, and all last summer, the video that we produced here in San Diego went viral at the library and the schools. We gave it as a gift after we finished producing it.
Excellent.
And because the kids and families were shut in, it's just a short 3 to 4 minute video, but it's silly and whimsical. And it's basically a reading rap song. We decided to do a song like that. And, you know, Will Smith wasn't available, so I did it.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so now let's talk to me about the work of, because a lot of people are like, how do I incorporate my creativity and with literacy? So walk me through Reggie's songs. Like, what's
Okay.
that process?
Well, okay. So let's start with a very interesting thing. I have a note here. It's really cool. There's a fella who in 1909, his name is, what is his name? I wrote his name down. Eric Toth, Tosh. I think that's right. Anyway, if you go online, you can Google him. I believe that he is the first intellectual rapper. And what I mean by that, he was a very interesting composer. He was a where's he from? He was from Germany and Austria, Jewish, came to America, and he wrote this song. It's called Geographical Fugue.
Cool.
Now, if you haven't heard that before, I'm gonna give you a taste of what that is. It's basically places around the world. And if you go to YouTube, your subscribers go to YouTube, they can put in Geographical Fugue. But I believe this is the first rap song, and it went something like this: Trinidad and the big Mississippi and the town Honolulu and the Lake Titicaca. The Popocatépetl is not a Canada, rather a Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. Canada, Malaga, Rimini, Brimsey, Canada, Malaga, Rimini, Brimsey. Yes, Tibet, Tibet, Tibet. Now,
Cool.
that premise led me to doing my song. I'm Reggie Raposaurus. I'm Reggie Raposaurus, and I come to you with a book in one hand, and I read a lot of crew. Now, here's a story I've come to tell. I read books, and I do it well. It all started long ago, about 65 million years or so. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So the connection and the content is different, but it connects with people. Now, if you go on YouTube, you'll see that song, my song, but you'll also see that Geographical Fugue done by choirs in countries around the world, by families. It's wonderful. I sang it in college. I was in a speaking choir in college, and we did the Geographical Fugue. It's a Bach piece, and it's done soprano, tenor, alto, bass. It's amazing. And so imagine a fancy row, row, row your boat.
Yeah.
One section starts, and it's massive, and it's beautiful.
Wow. So you're rapping, and I was like perked up because I'm so excited to hear what you're saying, but also like the beat also with it. Like, talk to me about why it draws people in.
Oh my
Why?
Well, I don't know if there's a real simple answer to that, but music, as you know, connects with people.
Yep.
Rhythmic things connect with people. I don't care how old you are. When I did something I was working with Deep here in San Diego, and they do things with 0 to 3. It's a nonprofit, and they do schools, inner city schools in San Diego. We did 5 inner city schools. They hired me to come in and do the piece with Reggie. We did ABCs in English and in Spanish, by the way.
Right.
We think, and so we had kids that were from Kuwait, from Japan, from just all over in these areas that are disenfranchised. And we got the parents to read 1,000 books. That was their piece. My piece was to get them excited. I'm silly. My job is to do my job and get them
Right.
excited. I do my 3-minute song, say, read, 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 have a good time. It's fun, it's whimsical. And then I'd put on some really big, big, big red shoes. And the kids would follow me like clown shoes, big, like big red shoes. Because Reggie in the picture you notice has
Yeah,
red
yeah.
shoes. So I would wear the red shoes live and they'd go, oh my God, I became a cartoon character, just like that. Yes.
Wow. What does deep stand for?
As oh boy, I don't know what it means, but I
Okay.
can email it to
Oh,
you.
yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you work with,
it's
yeah,
deepsd.org. It's a
deep
wonderful organization, and Gina Gianzero is the director.
cool.
It's great, and we work with the San Diego Public Library and the San Diego Council on Literacy, and been working with those folks for a number of years.
That's brilliant. And you said something very special. You said when we're talking about the rhythm, you could rap in English and in Spanish.
Yes.
Music transcends even linguistic language
Oh,
barriers and
oh
culture
yeah.
barriers.
Oh yeah, it
They
does.
inspire.
It does. And you don't have to understand the language or the words. The rhythm gets you, and that's what you want to do. Our songs our songs, we're lucky. Bill Harris, my producing partner and co-writer, musicians came to town, they found out we were doing these incredible songs. They said, hey, you're doing a kids record. Can we come and play on it? So we have Manhattan Transfer's guitar player,
Wow.
BB King's drummer,
Wow.
Ike Turner's bass player, and a fellow who just killed it. I'm not a blues singer, but Ron Taylor, who's a Broadway star. If you might Google him, Ron Taylor did Bleeding Gums Murphy on The Simpsons.
Yes.
He took the train down here from San Diego, did the recording. It's called Toothache Blues. He kills it. He kills it. It's
Wow.
on YouTube, and Deborah, his wife, has just been so gracious and kind, and they are, big deal in the theater world. So yes,
Okay.
so that's why it connects, because we're sneaking in schools good music, good reggae, good jazz, good blues, good bluegrass music.
Yeah, yeah,
When
yeah,
I was growing up, we had music in school, and
yeah.
so this is a cool way for me to sneak some music in there. Talk about reading and other good things, being honorable, compassionate, and being kind, which again doesn't translate to being weak, and
Right.
sharing those really simple concepts that have seemed to have gone away. So
Mm.
that's my job.
Well, that's why I wanted to talk to you about the mission too. So, what is the mission of your or so Reggie Episource is your character, but talk to me more about. I love your. I'm gonna put a picture of your logo in the back too. Talk to me more
Yeah.
about your business.
Well, this is my mission. United We Read, Together We Grow is, boy, it's just come out of years of me wanting and yearning to put something that puts a stamp on what it is I do. And
Right.
this does it. And so I wanted an eclectic group of kids that were happy, but more universal, more global.
Right.
You see, there's a wheelchair bound person. There's just a mix of folks from Mexico. There's 27 Spanish speaking countries in the world.
Yeah.
And so why not reach out to them? Why not? And so make those kinds of stories. And these 6 kids, I have stories in the back burner for each one of them. There's backstories for each one of them. This is going to be the other piece of what I'm doing, and I won't talk about it, but we're working on some real nice things with this logo, and United We Read, Together We Grow is going to be a
Exciting.
pretty cool thing.
Excellent. That's excellent. Okay. So, and I love your mission. I think that it's all about equity.
Yeah.
And you said something before about you're sneaking in good music. It's very interdisciplinary. So
Mhm.
it's music, it's literacy, it's culture, it's
Mhm.
everything mixed together at the same time. That's what I
And
call. Go ahead. What do you say?
I was just going to say, and one other thing it does, when Head Start hired me to do the Zoom thing that they had me to do, they specifically wanted something that incorporated their literacy component, asked me to come and do this. So I did the thing, and they wanted movement. So I have movement. We do silly movement. And this is all Zoom. So we break the fourth wall. So even though it's on this little screen, I'm an actor. So you can, and teachers, that's what I want teachers to know. You can use this space in all kinds of ways. I would be reading the story to the kids, and I would just go like this, and
Oh,
I'd keep reading, and they go, well, where is he? And I'd pop back up and I'd finish the story, or I'd go to the left and you use the space.
I
Why
love
not? It's there. And I'd do silly things, and then this you're going to love. So in terms of using the space and using what you have,
it.
you
Yeah.
also use simple things,
Hmm.
very simple things, to get your idea across. There's a song we do, and it's called I Can Get Dressed All by Myself.
Oh,
It's a Montessori concept.
yes.
And so, yeah, so it's cool. So this, these are little creatures that I have,
Yes.
and it goes like this. How do I look? I'm on my way to school. How do I look? I'm on my way to school. How do I look? I'm on my way to school.
Oh.
I was putting my clothes on the other day. You never guess what happened. It occurred to me at my age, you see, I know my left foot from my right.
Oh, yay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having such a great time just listening to the song. And
So,
I'm in my 30s. This is great.
well, that, and so, and so again, music and the simplistic things you do to present, again, it can be done in a classroom. Librarians will love this kind of thing. They can use these
Yes.
tools,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk about, because you said librarians. So
Mhm.
you are an actor, you are a highly creative person, but what if I am a teacher or I'm an administrator that would like to create a program like this,
Mhm.
add on the virtual component because we're all online, especially with COVID.
Right.
Where do we get started? How do we do it?
Go to the library, and that's a good starting point. The library has great tools, and I work a lot with Lakeshore Learning. They have wonderful books there, believe it or not. And
Mhm.
I've gone there. We have 17 songs that we do, and there's songs that I match different modalities with when I'm doing a show,
Mhm.
and it works out well. But teachers and librarians can go to the library and choose something that works best for them. Our songs, by the way, they can choose segments of the song, they can choose the entire song, they
Mhm.
can download the songs. It makes it easy for them. That's what they've been doing over the last few years. I've had New York teachers email me and tell me which song they're using in their second grade class for the last 10 years.
That's cool.
Yeah,
So if I have a lesson or lesson plan, I can incorporate your song. That is
absolutely.
cool. Is it
Absolutely.
all okay? That's
And
awesome.
it's on iTunes, and it's on Amazon.com. It's Stacey Roberts. It's Reggie Rapasaurus.
Mhm.
You can do it like that, or you can put in actually, if you do YouTube, you can do Stacey Roberts entertains kids, and you'll see those really cool videos that we did last summer.
Ooh,
Those are wonderful, and they're real short. You can actually incorporate those into your lesson plan as well.
okay. That's good.
We have one that's counting with Reggie, ABCs. I do ABCs, and it's real visual. The video, if you go on YouTube, you'll see that ABCs, and giant letters are flashing around me, and I'm dancing around looking like a Rastafarian. I've got hats. I'm doing costumes and stuff. It was all green screen. It was wonderful and magical. We had a
Cool.
ball.
You can tell
Had
you
a
had a
great
lot of
time.
fun.
No, I had a great time. It was great.
That's good. And then what if I am a creative and I'm inspired by you and I want to create my own character? Like where do I start?
Boy, that's just start with what you know.
Hmm.
Start with what you know, and then if there's something you don't know, I'm a strong proponent. If there's something I don't know, I get on the phone, I go on the internet, I find somebody who knows something that I don't know in a discipline that I'm not familiar with, and I'll call them. How you doing? Hey, Miss Stacy, I'm thinking about doing blah blah blah. Is there any way you can mentor me? I'm looking for some
Wow.
help. Sometimes they'll say yes. If they're too busy, they won't. But what's cool is either they'll say yes or no, or they refer you to somebody that might be able to help you.
Wow.
Don't be afraid to ask. If
It's
you
so
don't ask, you won't. You know what I mean? If you don't ask, I go until I find my yes.
same. I'm the exact same way.
Okay. And so it doesn't matter if you say no, because I know that my yes is out there waiting for me. I just have to continue the path, my mission, and my purpose.
I wonder, and I'm thinking about your whole context. I wonder if it's because you're an actor and actors have to have that fire. Or where do you think that comes from? I go until I
I don't
find
I
my
really think so, because there were many years that I didn't do acting at all. I basically stopped doing acting and became a literacy advocate. That's what I've been doing for
mm,
a number of years. And so you don't have to be an actor. If you're an introverted person and you want to reach out and help in your way, help in your way. Do it the way that works best for you, and it works different for everybody. Again, you can partner with somebody. I belong to another organization called Children's Music Network. that
Cool.
might share that with you. It's a national organization. There's
Mhm.
musicians and performers all over the US. We had a conference, a virtual conference this last, it was a few months ago in Lynchburg, Virginia. And
Cool.
there were hundreds and hundreds of people on the thing, and people were performing, and just it was great. We had some performers and musicians from Germany, from Kenya, that were all
Wow.
in this organization. Yes, and so every kind of discipline you can think of in different languages, but it's really cool to have this network of people that are doing good stuff and promoting, again, honorable compassion and kindness in the world, and they do that on a daily basis. So
That's brilliant. How so being honorable, compassionate, kindness. Walk me through how did that become your mission? Because I feel like that's something that's really close to your heart. Where does that come from in terms of your mission?
I worked in Los Angeles for a while. I worked for a CEO at a large corporation. And the
Mm,
one thing he was mentoring me, one of the things he taught me then was to, if a deal isn't good for both parties, it's not good for anybody. He said, don't ever negotiate yourself just for your benefit. And he said, also, if you're going to sell something, whatever your product is that you create, make it so that it's affordable for people. The nickels and dimes add up. You don't have to gouge people. Do good work and make it'll take care of itself. And so my point of view is, if I do good work, the money will come. I'm not worried about it. The money shows up, the jobs show up, and the kind of people that I want to align myself with do show up in spades. And that's how my project has grown over the years. So being honorable is part of that piece for me, in honor of the person that was my mentor, and compassionate every single day if possible. And I know it's difficult sometimes, but you have to work at it. And then being kind. Again, kindness does not translate into weakness. So people need
mm.
to continue to reach out to each other in very kind ways.
That's awesome. I'm just so inspired. Like this whole conversation. I love, here's things I love. I love people that are like you, honorable, and they are caring and they're doing really good work. You're helping kids and you're doing it in a way that is not only sustainable, but it's very impactful. Like, I don't know if you know, but you're changing these children's lives. So I like to end with two things. The first is if you had one piece of advice for someone that's kind of just starting out, what would it be?
Hmm. Let's see.
Okay.
Yes, go to the library and talk to the librarian about what it is you'd like to do. Librarians are the best resource. They're like, imagine yourself as, if you haven't started anything, and
Right.
just think of yourself as a CEO of your company already.
Mhm.
The library is your resource. The library is your staff. FedEx office, that's your staff. That's a place you go to execute your plan. You
Right.
do the homework and you do the work, you do the research, and then you go to FedEx office, you go to the library, you put your pieces together, you make them as professional as possible, but you do it in steps at a time, and take your time. And there'll be missteps, but you go take the missteps, you learn from it, and you continue going on, and you tell people what you want to do. And that's the key. Tell folks that you want to do something, and somebody would say, I'm interested in that little thing you're doing. Tell me more about it. If you don't let folks know what you do, they're not going to be able to help you.
That's excellent. And then I guess that kind of goes into your one piece of wisdom, just for anyone, especially in the COVID context. What's the one thing you'd like to leave people with?
Mm. Every day, every day, take a moment and be absolutely silly.
Oh,
Every day, a moment, and do something totally whimsical. Doesn't matter where you do it. Do something that's just fun and whimsical. You're in a park walking, you're thinking, I really would like to do blah, 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 but I'm actually going to do that. And just go and hug the tree, or sing to the tree. Stand next to the tree and start singing. People will pass by you. What is that person doing? Just sing to the tree and make up a song. Make up a silly song. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. What that does for you here is allows you to think beyond this box that you've placed yourself in.
right.
Allow yourself to be free, and it's fun, and you get to enjoy your life a little bit more and more fully.
Wow. This has been an amazing conversation. Thank you so much, Mr. Stacey Roberts,
Thank you.
aka Reggie Rapasaurus, the wonderful, prolific entertainer and literacy advocate. This has
Thank you.
been Office Hours with Macbeth Academy. I'm Kayla Selinsky. Visit our website, www.macbethacademy.org, for more information.